Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today because we're going to do something a little bit different and, frankly, pretty fascinating. We're putting on our digital detective hats. So instead of just talking about the tactics on the soccer pitch, we're going to meticulously examine a single web page, specifically a highlights page from the 2026 World Cup, and essentially reverse engineer the massive digital ecosystem sitting right beneath the surface. From the thrill of the match itself to the hidden machinery tracking your clicks, every single inch of this page tells a story about how we consume global entertainment today.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap. First, we've got the Group D showdown. Second, global storylines. Third, players and veterans. Fourth, the viewer experience. And finally, the privacy fine print. We're moving from the visceral on-pitch action all the way down to the digital tracking.
All right, Section 1, the Group D showdown, decoding the match details.
2 minutes and 14 seconds. That is exactly how long this highlight reel is. I mean, think about that for a second. We are taking 90-plus minutes of intense physical exertion, really complex tactical formations, roaring stadium crowds, and agonizing suspense, and we're compressing it all down into literally 134 seconds of pure digestible digital adrenaline. It really hits the nail on the head regarding how modern sports consumption is built for speed and efficiency. Basically, if you don't have 2 hours to spare, the platform ensures you only need 2 minutes. Now, the site sets the stage with these simple, hard facts. Watch highlights of the match between USA and Paraguay, played at Los Angeles Stadium on Friday, 12 June at 1800 local time. It's a brief, kind of sterile sentence, right? But as digital detectives, we treat this as a vital clue. It gives us our exact coordinates in space and time. It essentially grounds the whole digital experience in a physical reality. A Friday evening showdown under the lights in Los Angeles. Moving right along to Section 2, Global Tournament Storylines, the news ticker. Because, the World Cup is never just about one match, is it? Just glancing at the headline feed, we are instantly transported around the globe. We're seeing updates regarding Brazil and Morocco, actually referencing their historic 1998 meeting. We've got Canada, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Haiti, Scotland, the Korea Republic, and Czechia. It's this rapid-fire geographic tapestry. This perfectly illustrates the returning diversity and just the sheer global scale of the 2026 World Cup, all of it vying for your attention in a single sidebar.
And this brilliantly illustrates how the platform categorizes the drama to keep you clicking. Just look at the visceral match results in the first column. Korea Republic hit back to defeat Czechia, or Eltree excel as the Taeguk Warriors rally. Immediate, punchy action. But then, in the second column, we have these broader emotional storylines. Stars dazzle at Toronto and Los Angeles ceremonies, or the frustration of Bosnia and Herzegovina left unsatisfied with opening draw. The source material is deliberately building this massive narrative of global triumph and frustration to keep you hooked, well after those 2 minutes and 14 seconds are over.
Which brings us to Section 3, standout players and veterans, the human element. Because honestly, what is sports without the people playing it? Right at the top, we see the headline, Balogun shines as Stars and Stripes cruise to victory. Further down, there's this great quote from Folarin Balogun saying, "This is something I dreamed of for a long time." Through just a few words on a screen, the platform completely captures that visceral, emotional thrill of a player realizing their ultimate childhood dream on the biggest stage imaginable. But there is a super fascinating duality at play here. Take a look at the rising stars. We've got the Egyptian rookie Abdul Karim raring to run riot, and Kone pointing out the sheer passion on the pitch. But right next to them, we have these seasoned, returning veterans who are clearly carrying immense weight. We have Talisman McTominay ready to go for Scotland, a speechless Gomez on Paraguay's return, and Brazil's Marquinhos literally vowing to battle pressure in pursuit of World Cup prize. It's the fresh, wild energy of the rookies pitted directly against the heavy, agonizing pressure of the veterans, and it's all curated beautifully for the reader. All right, on to Section 4, the modern viewer experience, customizing the pitch.
At this point, we're actually pivoting away from the sports drama to look at the tool delivering this content, the video player itself. Have you ever actually clicked into the subtitle options on a modern video player? It is wild. The platform offers font sizes ranging from 50% all the way up to a massive 400%. But, okay, my absolute favorite part of the source material here is the character edge styles. You can choose none, raised, drop shadow, uniform, or, somewhat hilariously, a depressed edge style. I mean, who knew we needed our font edges to reflect the mood of a losing team, right? But it goes to show just how highly, almost obsessively customized the modern viewing experience has become.
And modern sports fandom isn't just passive watching anymore. Look at these playback speeds. You can watch the match at normal speed, rush through it at double speed, 2.0x, or slow the whole thing all the way down to 0.25x. Users can literally control the flow of time to analyze every single pass, tackle, and goal. You aren't just a spectator anymore. You are the digital director of your own viewing experience.
Finally, Section 5, the privacy fine print, the cost of connection. We're now descending into the sterile, legal reality of the digital ecosystem. And I want to treat this with the exact same gravitas as a World Cup final, because this fine print, it's the actual cost of connection. So the crucial point is understanding what powers all this customization. According to the site's own Privacy Preference Center, when you visit, they use cookies. They define these as information stored or retrieved on your browser about you, your preferences, or your device. Impartially speaking, the source notes that this information doesn't usually directly identify you, but it's used to give you a more personalized web experience. It's basically the invisible handshake between your computer and the stadium in Los Angeles.
When you click that Manage Preferences button, you are presented with 4 distinct categories of cookies to navigate. 1. Strictly necessary. 2. Functional. 3. Performance. And 4. Targeting. Breaking this down shows us exactly how data-driven the sports entertainment transaction really is. Every single click, every video speed change, every highlight watched is being categorized into one of these 4 buckets.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the stark contrast between the two extreme ends of that spectrum. On one hand, you have your strictly necessary cookies. The text explicitly states these are always active, they don't store personally identifiable information, and they're just there to make the site function, like logging in or setting privacy preferences. Pretty standard stuff. But on the exact opposite end, you have targeting cookies. The fine print tells us these might be set by advertising partners to build a profile of your interests and show you relevant ads on other sites based on uniquely identifying your browser and device. It's a vivid illustration of what is technically required to watch the video versus what is being used to track you across the broader internet.
Which brings us to the final whistle of our digital breakdown today. We've seen the thrilling 2-minute highlights, the global storylines spreading like wildfire, the totally customizable video players, and the invisible data trackers working silently in the background. It leaves us with a pretty compelling final thought. As massive global entertainment events like the World Cup increasingly blur the line between thrilling physical sports and really complex digital ecosystems, how do you manage your digital footprint when engaging with the things you love? It's definitely something to think about the next time you're tempted to just click Accept All. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep your eyes open out there.